I'm so happy you're here. I am very excited about this evening I'm about to have. It feels like I just always have something to do. Like my schedule is truly insane these days. And when I started my inner work and healing journey, I feel like I had so much time to explore myself, to heal, to learn, to grieve, all of the things. And now I find myself with always something to do. I hate to say that sometimes introspection and just doing things 100% alone and like being intentional, taking myself out on dates, it just isn't number one. There's just so many things that kind of come before there just because my time just feels really limited. So I'm really excited. Spring just started. The sun is popping off. You can probably see because I'm sitting in my car and I'm sweating. I just bought a new book, Jay Shetty. I would show it to you, but literally I have it like laying on my steering wheel and then I have my camera on top. Let me show you a pic so I can show you exactly what it looks like. It's too good. Like, this is the life of a content creator. I would just show you it, but it is called, I think, The 8 Rules of Love. And I have been dying to start reading this. I have been single for a little over 3 years now, and it has truly been the sweetest time of my life. And you are talking to a recovering codependent. I lived with 2 out of 3 boyfriends that I've had in life. I have had a 5.5, a 2.5, and a 3.5 year relationship. Like, I used to be a big relationship girl. I hated being alone. I hated spending time alone. I thought it was weird if people spent time alone. I definitely had some really anxious, negative thoughts about myself. My inner critic would go off when I was alone. And yeah, I just never spent time alone. I was always with a boyfriend. When I started my inner work and healing journey, it just became such a priority to me. I will say, I think like one of the biggest pieces that really like kickstarted my inner work journey was I chose to live by myself. So I got the opportunity to live by myself in 2020. It definitely helps when you live alone, right? Like you don't really have distraction other than like your phone, your TV, different things like that. But you don't really have another human there. Like you don't have somebody else's body language, their eye contact, you know, what they're doing. It's a very different life. I never thought that I was built for that life, but I am built for that life, and I want to teach you exactly how to do it. I want to teach you how to spend time alone. I want to teach you how to feel secure when you're spending time alone. I want to teach you how to be safe. Like, there's so many things that I want to share with you and teach you that have seriously changed my life and have highly, highly impacted my inner work and healing journey. So today I want to share with you how to enjoy your company, how to take yourself out on a date. Throughout my inner work and healing journey, I've gone through like, okay, I'm officially single. I know I want to start healing. I know I want to challenge myself to be by myself. Like that was one big era of my healing and inner work journey. And then there was definitely a huge piece where I was just like, just healing. Like I didn't have mental space for another person. I didn't even have the capacity to want another person because I was so deep into rewiring my thoughts, rewiring my beliefs, healing, really like going back, meditating, like resurfacing through traumatic events so I could reshape them in my mind. Like I was so deep in the healing game that I did not need a man. I did not need anybody else. Myself was more than enough for me at that time. So that was one big piece. And then I had a piece like probably, I don't know, like last year at some point. That's a lie. I'm so bad with like figuring out the years. Like I'm such a visual person. I'm like trying to think back the time, but I would say like definitely less than a year ago. Actually, I think I declared it on my podcast one time. We'll just say at the beginning of the year. That could be a little bit wrong, but we'll just say at the beginning of the year, I decided like, okay, I'm officially open to love. Like I'm officially open to a relationship, and I have still kind of declared that. And that's what's happening now. Like it took a while for me to say, okay, I'm ready. And then for God in the universe to just like, you know, smack someone in front of my face. Like that definitely has not happened. So it's been like over, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 months, if not a year. Once again, the timelines are tough, but it doesn't feel like that long, but I'm going to say at least 6 months. And now I'm starting to get the opportunity to date and to explore different connections and connect with people that are like-minded and that I feel connections with. So that's super exciting. But what I've really realized so far in this new journey, this new era of healing and inner work and mixing in a romantic possibility is that I seriously value my alone time so much. And I really value the time that I spent pouring back into myself, doing this deep healing and inner work, learning how to take myself out on dates, learning how to love my own company, learning how to love my soul, like learning how to love my brain. I'm literally obsessed with myself. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, I don't mean it in like a crazy toxic way, but I mean it in a seriously serious as fuck. Like, I am here for me. I'm just so proud of myself for how far I've come and how I've really learned to admire myself. I truly think that I have great character. I love different parts of my personality and character. I love how I treat other people. I love how I treat myself. I love how I handle situations. Like, I genuinely just thoroughly enjoy the human that I am, but that was not the case in the very beginning. It definitely took me some time to get here. One of the ways that I got to this amazing point is through spending time alone, taking myself on dates, loving myself, treating myself, but learning how to be safe and comfortable in my body. And so today I am taking myself out on a little mini solo date, and I wanted to be like cool. Normally I like to get like a cool drink or something like that, but honestly, the vibe just wasn't feeling like, I don't know. I just like, the only thing I really wanted was a smoothie, and I don't want like Smoothie King. Like, I want like a fresh, clean place, but there wasn't one that was on the way, and I was just like, eh. So today we're sticking with water. I didn't want to overthink it, and this is like step number one on how to enjoy your own company is number one, don't overcomplicate it. Enjoying your own company or taking yourself out on a date doesn't mean that you have to go like spend a bunch of money. You have to go to a nice restaurant and get dressed up. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that unless you want it to mean that. And if that's what you want it to mean, then hell yes. But I am a very like low-key person. I like to just chill in my own home. I'm introverted. So yeah, it's simple things for me. So don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money to go take yourself out on a date. I know that TikTok and Instagram, there's so many talks about like solo dates, or like you see people doing stuff alone or with other people, and you feel like you need to have the Starbucks drink or the perfect green juice, or you need to go get sushi and you have to be by a beach to go sit outside. Like, absolutely not. This is what you make it. So don't overcomplicate it. The next piece to that is do things that you thoroughly enjoy doing. Do things that excite you. Do things that you're curious about. Like, you want to go take a pottery class? Go take a pottery class. That is definitely on my list. I haven't found a place yet that can do that. If you know of any in Atlanta, let me know. So don't overcomplicate it with things like money. Don't overcomplicate it with like, what should I do? Does it have to be big and extreme? It can be as simple as like what I'm doing today, grabbing a book, grabbing my journal, and just going to a local park, sitting on the grass and watching the sun go down. The second part of this is we need to debunk spending time alone. Growing up, I just kind of thought that if you spend time alone, you're weird. You don't have friends. That means people don't like you. People don't like you. That's why you're alone. So I made it my goal to literally never be alone. I made it my goal to only be around people, especially because in my past, when I did spend time alone, lots of crazy thoughts came in, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I just had to completely relearn, like, what does it mean to be alone? So stop telling yourself that it's weird to spend time alone. Stop telling yourself that it's weird if you're not hanging out with friends all the time. This belief and concept in your mind is only hurting you and holding you back. Now, if you're on your healing and inner work journey, I highly recommend discovering where this belief came about. So where's the root of it? Who did you hear saying this when you were growing up? Did your parents, loved ones, guardians ever spend time alone? Where did you learn this belief from? And ask yourself, is this a belief that you want to continue to believe? Or do you want to change it? If you want to change it, that is absolutely step one. And honestly, if you're watching this and you want to feel confident enough to go on these solo dates and to take yourself out and spend time alone, this is kind of not an option. This is not a quick fix. Like, this is a let's dig in and figure this shit out so it doesn't haunt us for the rest of our life. Okay, step 3. Before you go do whatever it is that you're going to do, especially in the beginning, you may feel a lot of fear. You may feel some anxiety. You may feel some worry. There are so many things that could happen. My best best recommendation for when you are feeling overwhelming fear, like this would happen to me before I go out of the car. Honestly, like this can still happen to me today, and I've been practicing. Before I get out of the car for anywhere, like if I get really, really nervous, I always list the worst case scenario, which may sound a little counterproductive and confusing, but it really works for me because as much as I am such a positive, optimistic person, I also recognize that shit happens. I used to pride myself on being a realist. So in the energy of that, I go ahead and I say, what's the worst thing that could happen to me? So today I'm out here and I'm gonna go journal, sit on the grass and relax. If this was me in the beginning of my inner work journey, the worst thing that could happen is somebody coming up to me, pointing at me and laughing and being like, you are a fucking loser. You're spending time alone. Nobody likes you. That would be like the worst thing that would happen. Or like I got abducted. Well, that would definitely be the worst thing, but you know, scary. Anyway, pick the worst or pick a couple like worst case scenarios. And then also ask yourself, what would I do if that worst case scenario happened? How would I respond to that? And then you think about how you would respond to that worst case scenario happening. And then let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't hold anxiety over your whole body about it. Don't play it back and forth in your head. Say it out loud and declare that this is not what's meant for you. And then set your intention. Set what you want to happen. Release it, surrender, and let it go. Do not overthink it here. That is definitely not what we're using this worst case scenario thing for. So just don't do it. And if it helps you, I always recommend just using a quick affirmation. My absolute favorite for times when I feel a little fearful, anxious, or nervous is I breathe in all confidence and I exhale all fear. And I genuinely feel better. Like I do that like 3 or 4 times and I feel so much better. So those are some tips on if you're feeling a lot of fear. The next piece to that is use self-compassion. So if you are feeling fear, like I just said, don't punish yourself and be like, Christina, this is stupid that you feel fear. Like this is dumb that you feel this way. Why do you feel this way? Why aren't you just normal? Like what? We're not doing that. Cut. I almost said stop, drop, and roll. But honestly, stop, drop, and roll every single time that you say something bad about yourself, because that is what we need to do to break the habit. Okay, I'm about to get on a full tangent and yell at you as to why you should not think bad about yourself, but let me stick to the steps. Our ego, our inner critic, our inner child, there's so many different names, but basically our inner critic is going to tell us all of the reasons why we shouldn't be doing what we're doing. It's going to tell us all of the reasons why we are in danger and this is not okay what we're doing. The reason for that is because our ego wants to keep us safe. So it's there to ring the alarm and tell us that something is wrong, and the inner critic may come in and tell us bad things about ourselves, but those thoughts are not true. Those thoughts are just thoughts. So treat them as such. And if you have a negative thought about yourself or the experience, be ready to bring yourself up. Be ready to get your own back. You're on a solo date now, okay? You gotta have your own back sometimes. And this is the best time. Have your own back. Tell yourself how amazing you are. Tell yourself how strong you are. Tell yourself how brave you are. Tell yourself how many times you've gotten through the toughest situations and how you came back on the other side. Like, tell yourself everything that you just wish somebody would have told you when you were younger and when you needed love and support and guidance. Be that person for yourself. This is the best part about spending time alone, is you learn how to be everything for yourself. And there is nothing more important and beautiful than that. Another tip, kind of like a second part to this tip of shutting down your inner critic, is if you're out in public, so maybe you're going to a bar and you go to get a drink and you feel extremely nervous, be sure to bring a journal. This is a great resource because if you feel really nervous, you can just grab a journal and brain dump everything that you're feeling, where you're feeling the nervousness in your body, why you're feeling that way, what this is bringing up for you. Like, there is so much self-exploration that will happen, and this is just somewhat of like a guided way, just like a great resource to really go ahead and work through that. And it gives you a little something to do, especially if you want to go in the beginning even, and maybe you're just like, okay, in the beginning of the day, I'm just going to journal about anything and everything, or I'm just going to journal about gratitude for 5 minutes when I get there. Like, give yourself something to kind of break the ice and like shake the nerves off a little bit, you know? Another tip to help you totally crush your solo date is to avoid social media. Honestly, I love putting out content. I love creating. I love a lot of the process of it, but what I don't love is social media. Social media can be very overwhelming and it can feel feel like everyone is in a better space than you. There's so much comparison that can happen. And so when you're intentionally spending time alone, it's just a good idea to like not numb yourself with social media. That's really all it is for so many of us for a while. Obviously, it's entertainment, it's learning, right? Like there's a lot of beauty that can come from social media, but there is also a pretty ugly part of not feeling like you're enough and feeling like everyone else is ahead of you and just getting stuck in total comparison. And we ain't trying to worry about that. We have other shit to take care of in our own brain and our own body and our own souls. We don't care. Let the social media go. So definitely avoid social media while you're on your solo day. Make it a little rule. And the last tip, kind of, I guess it's a tip, but also just like a super fun mindset shift to have with going on a solo date and enjoying your own company is to really think about if you are somebody who wants to be married or have a serious partnership in the future, going on solo dates and learning how to spend time alone are so important and can make the whole process so much more fun. When you go to take yourself out on dates, think about the kind of dates that you would want to go on and take yourself out on those dates. Even if you don't have a partner, even if you don't have somebody who's coming to take you out, like take yourself on the dates. And I truly do believe, this is why I have connections with amazing men, is that I do the things that I want for myself first. I'm not just waiting for somebody to do things for me. If I want to go on a picnic date, which I do, then I'm going to take myself on a picnic date. It's really simple things like that. I also believe that this can really help you manifest the greatest, healthiest love that you are looking for and that you've been wanting for however long for yourself. So have fun with it. Anything you want from somebody else, do it for yourself first. So that is how to enjoy your own company. I hope that this video helps you on your inner work and healing journey. I had so much fun making it, and I'm so grateful that you're here sharing this space and energy with me today. If there is anything specific that I can help you with on your inner work journey, be sure to check out the description of this episode where I have an anonymous form and you can write in whatever you're working through and I will work to build content around it. And as always, if you have enjoyed your time with me today and you want to see more and hang out more, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to comment, tell me what your favorite part of the video is. I love getting more and more connected with you guys. I'm sending you so much love. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for your time and energy.